All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on a massive IT project inside a major healthcare company, SelectMedical. They were facing one of those problems that can bring even the biggest companies to a screeching halt, and we're going to break down exactly how they tackled it. So, have you ever wondered how a huge company with operations all over the place keeps its financial data from just descending into total chaos? This isn't just some tech nerd question, believe me. It's a really high stakes game of trust and control. For Select Medical, this whole journey was about moving from the old way, a world of manual spreadsheets and random forms, which, let's be honest, is just asking for human error, to a whole new way of doing things. We're talking a single central system that's automated, that's fast, and that's secure. This is the story of that switch. Okay, so let's dive into the heart of the problem. It all comes down to something called metadata management. Now, the best way to think about it is like this. If your financial data is a giant library of books, your metadata is the card catalog. And you know what happens when the card catalog's a mess, right? Finding anything is basically impossible. So what exactly is this metadata stuff? Well, it's not the numbers themselves, it's the data about the numbers. It's the labels that give everything context. A sales figure, for example, is totally meaningless until metadata tells you, hey, that's for the outpatient division in the Portland location. Without good metadata, you don't have information. You just have a sea of random numbers. And that was the core challenge right there. Select Medical was trying to run its entire financial card catalog on this messy patchwork of spreadsheets and manual forms. I mean, you can imagine, for a company this big, that system was just slow, inconsistent, and incredibly risky, a disaster waiting to happen. So, to fix all this, they brought in a specialized piece of software called EPMware, and its mission was simple: become the one and only source of truth for all that financial metadata. The goal was to end the chaos of the old system once and for all. And this wasn't just some vague idea. The project's own design documents make it crystal clear. EPMware was officially named the Central Hub, the Master Repository. That means any change to the company's financial structure, big or small, had to go through this one single controlled gateway. So what were they trying to achieve? Well, the goals were super clear. First, get rid of the manual process. Kill the spreadsheets. Second, give users a self-service system so they're not stuck waiting on IT all the time. Third, let the system enforce the rules. Data governance. And finally, build something that could actually grow with the company. Now, this is where it gets really cool. A system like this is pretty useless if it's sitting on an island by itself. To really work, APMware had to connect and sync up the company's two most important financial systems. And these two systems, they serve totally different purposes, but they absolutely have to speak the same language. So let's meet the two main players here. On one side, you've got Oracle EBS. Think of that as the official history book for the accounting team. It's what actually happened with the money. And on the other side, you've got OneStream. That's the crystal ball for the financial planning team. It's all about forecasting what's going to happen. And this is exactly why keeping them in sync is so critical. I mean, think about it. If the accounting team adds a new clinic in Oracle, the planning team has to see that exact same clinic show up in OneStream, like, instantly. If they can't budget for it, the company's entire financial plan is basically built on a lie. It just falls apart. So how does EPMware solve this? Well, this is its superpower. It's like a universal translator sitting between the two systems. See, each system has its own weird internal name for things. So when Oracle says AFF location, EPMware instantly knows, that means UD2 over in OneStream. It does this translation automatically for company, department, everything, making sure both systems are always perfectly in sync. Okay, so the systems are talking to each other. That's huge. But what about the people making the changes? The next big piece of the puzzle was to completely overhaul the human process, to replace that messy chain of emails and spreadsheets with a clean, automated workflow. And the new process is just beautiful. Check this out. A user puts in a request in one single place. No more guessing who to email. Then, the system itself automatically figures out who needs to approve it. The request zips through the digital approval chain, and once that last person signs off, boom, the change is pushed live to both Oracle and OneStream, all automatic. And just so you get the scale of what's being tamed here, we're not talking about 2 or 3 approvers. There are more than 20 different approval groups across all these different divisions and teams, and the system just handles all of it. So what's the secret sauce that makes this so efficient? It's a clever bit of custom code.
This script is basically the brain of the whole operation. It looks at every request, analyzes the details, and then intelligently routes it only to the specific people who absolutely need to see it. No more bottlenecks, no more wasted time.
Now, this all sounds great in theory, right? But this isn't just a plan on paper. It's a real, live project. So let's take a quick look at how it went from an idea to a reality and what they're planning for the future. You can see they moved at a really solid, deliberate pace here. The first drafts kicked off in April of 2023. By November, they had the heavy-duty technical design all nailed down. By early 2024, they were deep into planning the launch, aiming to go live just 1 year after they started. Pretty impressive for a project this big. And they're not stopping there, which is really smart. This isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. The team is already mapping out phase 2, which is going to include even more automation, like special workflows just for handling address changes. It's a platform that's truly built to evolve. So at the end of the day, what's this really all about? It's about so much more than just installing some new software. It's a massive shift. It's about building this deep foundational trust in the numbers that drive the entire business. It's about knowing the data is right. And that kind of leaves us with one big question, doesn't it? In a world where businesses are just getting more complex and more data-driven every single day, is this kind of tight, automated control over your data really just an optional upgrade anymore? Or has it become the absolute price of admission for any company that wants to compete?